Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching us every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. As I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always such a fun ride. You can find us on television, Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. You can find us somewhere else on television as well, and that is with channel 182. And that's close to Huntsville, Alabama. And don't forget the radio station, the biggest country station to say right here in South Carolina, the biggest country. And that's WZLA radio. And we love being part of that climate as well. But thank you again so much for watching, and continue sending email. You know, it just makes my day. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. I got my kid brother with me right now. Been kind of pestering me wanting to be on the show. And so I finally said, yeah.
Well,
no, actually,
you had all those talented people, Donna, and now you've fallen down to just me.
Actually, I wouldn't say that whatsoever. Rob Patz is someone that I admire. And I know you think I kid around with you all the time. I'm serious this time. I'm going to spend a minute of serious with Rob. Rob, thank you so much for everything that you've done to help me in my career. It's been awesome.
Well, you are so gifted and so talented, and we are so glad you are part of our team at Abundant TV. And recently, I know you celebrated a birthday, and you do not look a day over 29. And I'm
actually 97. Don't I look remarkable for 97?
Yeah, I've gotten to a point now in life where I don't ask people to guess my age anymore, because they're getting closer and closer to the truth. And that bothers me. So it used to be where they would guess, and they'd guess like 10 years younger. And now they're getting like pretty dead on. And so I've stopped that game.
Well, actually, I'm one woman who doesn't care. So I just turned 67, and I'm proud of every year because, I mean, I can't believe it. First of all, my parents always said, you're never going to make it to 20. I don't know why I was the boringest kid they had, but anyway, I actually made it. It's kind of surprised even me. Yeah. So I made it, but it's been a good life. I've enjoyed every career I've ever had. I mean, I never fuss about anywhere I've ever worked. I mean, I've liked everything.
So for cake, are you a chocolate cake or a white cake?
Oh, you believe I'm chocolate? I am chocolate all the way. If you want to really, the worst enemy I have, if I have one, bake me a chocolate cake. I'll forgive you of everything. I mean, chocolate cakes are just up my alley. And I'm going to tell you, my husband is as big as chocolate too. He loves chocolate.
I do too. My wife is opposite. My wife likes white cake. So that is one of the few areas where we don't agree. Mm-hmm. Now she likes a good chocolate cake, but her big thing is she loves white cake. So for her birthday, which is also in September, both our birthdays are in September. So for her birthday, we have a white cake, and for my birthday, we have a chocolate cake. So and somewhere in between, we gain about 7 pounds. So
that comes with it too.
It does.
And I've got to ask, what's the date? Our wedding anniversary is actually September the 4th.
Ours is our wedding anniversary is September 3rd. Mm-hmm. Kristen's birthday is September 11th, and my birthday is September 24th. So we have our big 3 life moments are all in the same month.
Well, I have to tell you something. So my brother's birthday is December the 10th. His wife is also December the 10th. They were talking about getting married. He said, we're going to get married December the 10th. And I said, whose idea was that? She said, it was Chuck's idea. And I said, don't go there. Because you know what's going to happen. You're going to get one present. I know my brother, and that's why he's swaying you to December the 10th. So don't go there. Don't do it.
Though, or it could be that he likes to remember his anniversary. He's smart, And so he did it on his birthday so that he wouldn't forget.
I would imagine that would be more the reason.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I didn't think about it that way. You apparently know Chuck more than I do.
No, I don't, but I know men in general. So, yeah, we like to keep things simple. Actually, originally, because of that terrible thing that happened, that we don't talk about during 2020, originally our wedding date was December 11th of 2020. Unfortunately, of course, we couldn't do that because of all the stuff still going on. Mm-hmm. And for Kristen and I, with it being a first marriage for both of us, we wanted all of our family to be there.
Yeah.
Well, we were limited to I think it was 30 people, and that was not going to happen. And so we waited till September, obviously, and then we had, I think roughly, you'd have to ask Kristen for a verifiable number, but I believe it was close to 200 people. And so
it was so interesting at that time. We had to use our imaginations for everything. And I was seeing people who were having online weddings where they would use Zoom, and people could and I felt so sorry for all the high school graduates. That was not fair.
It was that was tough. I would have hated to go to school my whole career into high school and not get to have my graduation party. Now, I didn't stay long for my graduation party, so I mean, not like it was a huge thing, but yeah, it was. I after graduation, I think I went to, because we as a class had a party right afterwards. I think I stayed 15 minutes and I left. I want to
ask you a question, because you adjust the things really super easy. So let's talk to some business folks out there, because of things like COVID and just like college football. All the things that are happening with college football, people are having to learn to adjust. You know what I mean? So how do you adjust in a business? It's one thing, a football game, but in business, sometimes you just have to jump that hurdle.
Yes,
it's so easy to do that.
Well, you have our friend on. He talks football. He's our football. I don't know if you've had him on recently, but he's the football guy. I'm the business guy. And I'll tell you this, adjusting to things, I think business, as with anything in life, you have to learn how to pivot, our plans and God's plans are so different.
Oh, yeah.
And, I'll map out stuff, and Donna, I'm one of those people. I have a book. It has everything that I can't quite reach it. I was going to see if I could reach it and show you. It maps out not only today, not only this week, and not only the rest of this month, but it maps out the whole year, the rest of the year for me. And inside there, of course, it's my day planner kind of thing. Also, it has every note and all my goals and all this stuff. And I think sometimes God kind of looks at all that stuff and laughs and goes, is that really what he thinks I have?
Sure.
And so he has a better plan. So I think I learned fairly early on in business in my 20s to be willing to be flexible and to move and to pivot. Pivoting is, I think, the biggest thing that I've seen over now almost 30 years of being in business. I started when I was a sophomore in college with my first real company. Mm-hmm. And so 30 years later, I would say the biggest thing you can do is pivot and be willing to pivot. And the other thing, and which all this is so biblical, is to have good counsel, good people around you that are willing to say, hey, listen, Rob, this is what you need to do to kind of move this direction. You can have great plans, but have those same people be people that pray for you and that are there to help you with the things and the decisions you have to make.
Extremely important. I'm just going to tell you, and it's great to have friends like you. Okay, like when I want to do something different for the show, I like to get your opinion of it because it really matters to me. And I know you're going to shoot straight with me. I know you're going, because you're going to look out after my best interest. For one reason, you own the TV station, so you want someone halfway decent, the way you present yourself on the show, and you have a lot of awesome folks who have shows on your station.
We do, and we got some really cool things happening. I know you've had Stephanie Esposito on, And Stephanie and the ladies from the show called Salted have decided to go weekly with the show. And so Stephanie's leading that up. And so every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Abundant TV, you can watch Stephanie's show. And we're blessed. We've got so many neat things. Of course, a lot of them, Jody Powell, and he does a show called Falls Count Anywhere. And he also is the host for a show called Men Like Us. And he does great stuff on our network. We're just so fortunate. We're so thankful for Donna and all she does every day. Monday through Friday at 2:00 Eastern time, you can watch Donna's Edge on the network. And we love what you do, the energy that you bring, and the guests that you have.
Oh, well, a lot of the guests are yours. I mean, I've been kind of like, sifting through your head and coming up with other folks. The gardening shows, people are kind of liking that. I think people like to see me like really dirty. And believe me, in the South Carolina sultry sun, I mean, you're not going to have all your makeup on. That's not going to be a go. But it's a lot of fun. And I think people are really interested in too, just, where does food come from? Do you know how many people my age think that food comes from the grocery store?
Oh, there's a lot. So what right now is growing really great for you?
Everything. The garden is doing really well. We've got raised gardens, which is really fun. And I'll have to tell you, one of the folks who watches the show is in a wheelchair. And so he told me, he said, I just got to tell you, he sends me a message and he said, I just got to tell me you are helping me out in more ways than you know. And I said, what's that? And he said, I'm in a wheelchair. And I didn't know. So he's in a wheelchair and he said, I wanted a garden, but he said, I can't get out of the wheelchair and, dig into the garden and what have you. So I said, I got to thinking about that. Why not a raised garden? And he said, it's not that we needed the food. He lives on like an island. I mean, he's, this guy's like wealthy. He said, I just wanted to do something. And he said, just watching the food grow has just been really awesome this year. And so it was so good to hear. I get to hear from folks, and I encourage everybody, please send me email, anything you would like to see me change, because the show's not my show, it's their show. And so I just want to know, what do you want to see? And they love the guests that come from you guys, from Abundant Television. And I had the wrestling, the wrestling shows, all of those things. They are so much fun. I've even had them on WZLA radio.
That's awesome.
And people around here love that. So they really dig it. It's just the show is a variety show, and it's just a lot of different things. Politics, now those are kind of different, Rob, because I don't want them bashing their opponent. And so we always mention that before the show begins. I always say, no, look, it's obvious you don't like the other person or you wouldn't be running against them. So what I want you to do is come up with reasons why are you different from the other? Don't even mention their name. All you're doing is giving them free publicity.
That's so.
So just, what are you going to do differently? What would be your game? And so I think those are the best shows because people don't, and I won't let them argue. I won't allow, and I let everybody on mine. Democrats and Republicans are on my show.
That's awesome. And that's the way it should be. And that's the cool thing. We need, especially the country right now, and I totally believe this, we need to be able to sit down and have a conversation, not an argument.
That is so true. We're going to have to go into a commercial break, but I do want to mention this. One set of my grandparents were Republican. The other sets were Democrats. But now back in the day, this is why I became so political. So back in the day, they would sit on each other's porch. And so one would say, Mr. Bearden, tell me why you are a Republican. And the other one, and they called each other Mr. Bearden, and they were like the same age. And the other one would say, well, Mr. Shears, why are you a Democrat? It would just be that thing over and over again. But it was in a civil tone. They weren't arguing. As a matter of fact, my mom, Republican, dad, Democrat. And I always wondered, why do they even vote? Because they're canceling each other out when they go. But they're both just stubborn enough to do it. And I just go, why are you doing it? And Dad would say, because I have my ways and she has her ways. We're both, and you'd better vote. So you better believe I voted as soon as I could, I did. Let's go into a break, and we are going to return in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. You know, finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care. Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. I have Rob Patz with me right now, and he is like the chief cook, bottle washer. You do the dishes and all that stuff at Abundant Television. And but I wanted to say something about Kristen. Kristen and I have we have a few things in common, but one of those things is shoes. And I really do like her taste in shoes. I mean, I really do. And I watch her for many other reasons as well. You guys have your own show. And but I'm always interested in what she's wearing for church, the shoes.
So Sunday church shoes are her thing on Instagram and on Facebook. She does that. And it's funny. She did a video, I think it was last Friday. Or a couple Fridays ago now. And we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana at a Macy's. I'm going to give them a plug. They need to be a sponsor, but they're not.
Sponsor.
And she did the shoe video, and it's surprising how many people really love shoes. I mean, it's really a big deal. Kristen has, we'll just put it this way. We can't store all of her high heels in the house. So there is about 2 shelves full of her shoes in the garage.
I resemble that remark.
Uh-huh. And it's really cute because she'll say, hold on. So she'll be getting ready. And we've got a really good sized closet in our bedroom. And so she'll run out, and I always know it's to go find other shoes. Because the shoes that she has in the closet are not the ones she wants. So,
or those last Sunday, somebody from church are going to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this last Sunday, the ones that were from this last week were the black and white ones, the black, white, and red ones. Those she got a lot of really good response on those. Those were really cool. I'm a shoe guy myself for guys' shoes. I don't have probably as many shoes as Kristen has, but I'm getting there. I love different kinds of shoes. I change out. I don't know everyone. It's boring to wear the same shoes.
It is. It really is. But I want to ask a question. This is probably what every woman on earth is asking. They want to know about Kristen. Okay, what is the highest heel shoe she has? Do you know?
That is a great question. I know she has some, because I was with her. I know she has some 4-inch heels, but I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe she has some 5s too that are the 5-inch heels.
Well, one of the reasons my parents used to say I probably wouldn't make it to 20 is because I grew up in the 70s, and you remember the clog shoes that were popular. Well, you weren't even born yet, but there was a time in the 1970s when people wore clog shoes, and they were really, really high heels. I mean, extremely high. So, I mean, I can't believe I didn't fall off of them and break my neck, because I was kind of tomboyish anyway. I was tomboyish, but I liked to wear shoes like high heels. But now those are comfortable. I mean, they were the clogs.
Were they the wood shoe? The shoe on the bottom looked wood like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom had some of those.
Almost like cork.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My mom had some of those. So.
I can't believe they haven't come back. They came back like 10 years ago. And I mean, wait, they'll come back. That's what I say. Just
They'll come back again. And that's the surprising thing. Actually, Chris and I had that conversation a couple of weeks ago. Is like you see different things like from the 80s that like we wore. I was like, I remember as a kid wearing that, that kind of sweater and those kinds of things. And the surprising thing, though, we really haven't seen the 70s come back lately. Like they recycle the 80s on a regular basis.
70s was like the best. I mean, I've still got the big hair, and I don't intentionally have the big hair. It's just big hair. You know what I mean? I was born with it.
So my mom, I love the way, like my mom and dad were married in the 60s, and some of the clothes that she had, they were killer. I mean, I have the pictures, and they're amazing how their designs and stuff, the late 60s, early 70s, all the loud colors and stuff. That's the one thing that we don't have now is the brightness of our clothes. That's the one thing I miss. And I miss color on cars. Oh, because really everybody now orders a white, gray, or black car. I swear, and we fall into that. We have a gray car and a black car. So I mean, we're just as bad as everybody else. But
I love the flower power clothes. I used to tie my stuff, so it was a whole lot of fun. But I'll tell you, my favorite era is actually the early '60s. The Jackie O clothes. I mean, my mom and women for church would dress in suits, and they'd wear these really cool hats. And so, I mean, I just thought it was kind of cool. Now, some of the hats were weird looking. The box hat, the pillbox. I mean, it was kind of like, what's that about? But overall, I love the way they dressed. It was so classy.
Oh, completely. You know what's so cool? And I was at a museum this last year. And it was it was a museum about the 20s and the 30s, and the whole flapper look, and for the guy in the suits. Oh goodness, that was so cool. Same thing. We were at the Biltmore just a couple months ago.
I love the Biltmore.
And to see how they dressed, it was incredible. I love that. That's the part that you go. You try to imagine yourself like in the early 1900s at Biltmore, that you were invited there, and how you would dress. And I think it's cool. I love that kind of stuff. It to me is always very fascinating. It tells a lot, probably because of my really interest in psychology and how marketing and psychology works. It tells a lot about us in what we wear.
Oh yeah, like both my granddads were really into shoes, like the heels, and so one of my granddads was with the USDA with a ninth grade education, by the way, and then the other one had like a sixth grade education, and he was with like this cotton mill. He was the superintendent of it with a sixth grade education. But anyway, but they had common sense back then. So my granddad used to say when I was about to graduate from high school, he would say, "No, you're going to be going on job interviews. Make sure you're clean. Your shoes are clean and polished." And he would say, because I'll tell you this, there were times I didn't hire somebody because I saw their shoes were scuffed up. And he would watch them walk out and look at their shoes on the way out the door. So Kristen's got something going on there in the shoes. She really knows what she's talking about.
I'll tell you, my dad, when he was lead pastor, we had some good sized churches, and Daddy would hire associate pastors. Mm-hmm. And one of the first things my dad would check was their shoes, mm-hmm. and to see if it's a lot. I wished I did a better job. I don't do a good job on polishing my shoes. And I've got some shoes that, are worth enough that you should polish them. Because a lot of people say, well, they don't polish their shoes now because they're more disposable. But, and that's a whole nother topic we should get on sometime is mm-hmm. everyone should get good shoes because they'll last you forever. I have a pair of shoes I've had that are classic looking that I've had now for 15 years. Yes, they cost mm-hmm. more than your normal shoe, but so worth it. Yeah, they still and they're timeless. Don't invest a lot of money into like, Ichi shoes that are going to last a season. But if you need a good pair I have a good pair of dress brown shoes. I have a good pair of black shoes, and those will last forever if you polish them.
Just go for the classics.
Yes.
Classics are always going to be in style. That's just the way to just take good care of them. But I'll have to tell you, okay, now I'm the country mouse, you're the city mouse. So I'll have to tell you how my granddad took good care of his shoes. Now, he made good money, okay? Superintendent of the mill and whatever. He always used a biscuit. My grandmother made lard biscuits, and he would use a biscuit to polish his shoes. So he would say, there's no excuse whatsoever. But most people don't make biscuits. But anyway, get your Hardee's biscuit or whatever.
I've never heard that. I'm going to Google that when we're done.
Look it up.
Yep. But yes, and invest in they're not that expensive. Get a good shoe kit, like with the brush and everything, and do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Phil's got his shoe kit now. The shoe kit. He's into shoes that got to look right. Yep. He'll even look at me and go, isn't that a little scuffed up? You going to go with that? So anyway, you know how it goes. So we're going to have to call it a day. I can't believe the show is already over. We're going to have to start having more than 30 minutes, Rob. That's just
I'm sorry, just with my schedule, but 30 minutes is always fun with you.
Well, since you're the boss, I guess we need to go by your schedule, not mine. Okay. So let's get in contact with you if they would like to be part of Abundant Television.
Yeah, just go to abundanttv.com and there is a contact link there. So it's abundanttv.com. It's easy.
Real easy to do. But I wanted to ask you one other question. So and Roku, because we love Roku, and I never watch regular television. I want to do it on my time. If I want to watch Andy Griffith, it needs to be when I can see it, not when it's scheduled. Right. And so that's pretty cool. But do you see anything happening differently to Roku since Fox News is going to be buying them out?
I don't think there's going to be a lot. I know there was panic early on that people felt that they were going to skew the stuff. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Fox looks at it as a great vehicle. You're going to see what they call fast channels, which is what Abundant TV is. Fast channels are taking over. For the first time in history, digital channels like Abundant TV or like a lot of the other shows, the networks that are out there, have surpassed what are the traditional cable channels for ratings. And so it's where the future is. And I think they want to make sure that they have a wide bridge so that they're not offending any of their competition or anything like that. And I think it's going to be positive. I think Fox they spent a good amount of money to do it.
Mm-hmm. I think they're very smart to do that. You know why? Most people are like us. They're busy and they don't want to go by the station schedule. They want to go by their own schedule. And that's what we do. Absolutely. Yeah, Rob, thank you so much for being with me on the show.
Thanks, Donna.
That you would actually be on my show. I can't believe it. So, but thank you. And thank you for everything. Thank you for letting me be part of Abundant Television. I appreciate it very much. And thank you
It's our
guys
honor.
for watching. Continue sending email. I love them. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.